Hey everybody, Gamer Grampz here. Today we're going to be playing a religious game on DD where we're taking our time and going through things step by step to show new players from the very beginning of the game to the very end of the game what they have to do to win easily on DD difficulty. If that sounds interesting, stick around.
If you want to get good at Civ 6, subscribe and click the bell to keep up with the channel.
Alright, so when we last left off, we had just successfully secured ourselves a golden age for the classical era. So we're going to start by going ahead here and choosing what dedication we want to go forward with. Now, a lot of people, especially new players, might think, okay, we're going for a religious game. We definitely have to go for Exodus of the Evangelists here to get +2 movement for missionaries, apostles, and inquisitors. Additionally, newly training one gets +2 charges, and then we also get 4 great profit points per turn. That, in my opinion at least, would be a completely bad choice for us. And now the reason behind that being, we took our time, we dedicated ourselves to go for this religion. We already have 3 holy sites up. We're working on shrines in a couple of our cities. If we take a look here at the great people, there's been 2 great prophets there's been 2 great prophets founded that have found religions so far by Russia and Australia there. If we take a look here, we are currently getting 2 great profit points per turn. Germany's also chasing a religion at this point, but nobody else has started trying to get for one, so we are in good shape at the moment. Now, our great profit points per turn are also going to increase once we get these shrines up and running. Not to mention, we're going to be constantly watching to pay attention to this to see if Germany's catching up to us. We can always go ahead and quickly run holy site prayers in 1 or all 3 of our cities if we really had to, in order to make sure we snag a religion if things were getting really bad and we're getting close to missing out on one. However, I really don't even think that'll be necessary. So that's basically why I think it would be a huge mistake to go ahead and take this, because realistically, right now our faith income is so low that we're not going to be buying missionaries. We're definitely not going to be buying fucking apostles. And so it's basically the only reason we would take this would be to get those +4 great profit points per turn, which is just missing out on a great opportunity at this point. And so we are going to go ahead and choose monumentality here, which gives us +2 movement for all builders. It also allows us to purchase civilian units with faith. That means builders, settlers, and traders as well, which is another thing that we're going to want to get going as soon as we can. Although, if memory serves, I think I am building a trader. We just built a trader, sorry. So that's not really something we need to worry about at this point. But more or less, buying our builders and settlers with faith is going to allow us to do something with the faith income that we do have right now, and it's also going to give us a jump start on getting our empire settled and the infrastructure up and running, so that we can just transition then into essentially just cranking out a bunch of faith in the mid game and pounding out all of our apostles to spread our religion throughout the world. So we are definitely going to go ahead and take monumentality there. Sorry if that was a bit long-winded. Anyway, continuing along here, it has been a bit since I played this, so I'm just going to take a quick second here to gather my thoughts. Alright, so here we go. Now, we're definitely having loyalty problems here in Sao Paulo. It's set to rebel in approximately 14 turns. We definitely don't want to let it get there, obviously. In 7 turns, the population is going to go up here, which will definitely help a little bit staving off that loyalty pressure. But also in 2 turns, once we get our first governor, we'll definitely send them to Sao Paulo first in order to help shore up that loyalty a bit. Now, if we take a look here at the city and we go over to our loyalty and governors, so it's losing 4.9 per turn, and that will be corrected because the governors give +8, so that'll more than offset the amount of loyalty that it's falling, and will help get them headed in the right direction in just a couple turns here. Alright, so with that being said, now that we have pushed the barbarians down away from our holy site here, we're definitely going to switch our production in the capital. We want to get our holy site repaired and up in order. That'll give us another great profit point per turn as well to help secure our religion a little bit faster. Now, somebody did point out to me in the last game here that I definitely missed out on a few turns here where we were Oh, never mind. We were two golds short of buying the tile here in order to get the Eureka for irrigation here and get this tile up online. So we'll definitely do that next turn. And before we forget about that, which will also allow us to get the sugar up online and trade it away momentarily as well. Okay, so as far as units here, we are just going to basically put the slinger on alert for now. With everybody having denounced us except for Rome last time here, I am very wary, and with Australia being our closest neighbor, we definitely want to pay attention. However, we did luck out in one regard that we have a very good defensive location here. I mean, like, they're really only going to come at us from this direction, and they have to cross the river and fight us in our city and jungle terrain and whatnot. So we should be able to basically repel them fairly easy with some archers if it comes down to that. In the meantime, here, though, we are going to go ahead. We'll take a shot with our slinger on the warrior that's in the marsh. And here with our warrior, we're going to go ahead and attack the slinger. Okay, so that gave us our boost for bronze working, which is nice. Not that we need it for encampments by any means, but it will help us. We will want to get it fairly soon here when we decide to start chopping our rainforest out for different production things. Alright, so now that we have secured our golden age, we want to definitely keep looking. As we were saying last time, we basically have a general idea as to where there's... we're playing on a standardized map, by the way, so there's going to be 8 total civilizations, and so far, including us, we've discovered 6 of them. So we know there's 2 more civilizations that we haven't discovered yet, and an easy way to find out where they are is by going through the diplomacy screen. I did mention this in the last game, however, so if you take a look here, I believe it was Russia last time. Yes, okay, so Russia has met somebody that we haven't. And they've also only met Australia, Germany, and then this random person here. So then if we go to, say, Australia, they've also met this random person here. And then Germany has also met just one single random player. So it basically gives us an idea that this random player that we haven't met is somewhere up in here, so we know where we want to beeline to, basically, with one of our scouts. And now, by that same metric, we've taken a look over here. Norway has met Rome and another unmet player that we haven't met. And same thing with Rome, if we take a look here. Okay, so they haven't met the unmet player. So that leads us to believe that it's somewhere up here to the north, I think, because Rome's pretty much down here. So we might want to start heading towards that direction here with our scout. So we'll kind of mosey on that way. And again, it's not an exact science by any means, don't get me wrong. However, it does give you a general area of where you can prioritize scouting in order to find them. Okay, so we've unlocked the campus district, and now, as I said, I'm going to be making a video and talking specifically about getting discounts on your districts to explain the metrics. There is a good one. Potato McWhiskey made one too. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, I'd suggest checking that one out in the meantime. However, the long story short here is we have only unlocked 2 districts right now. So we haven't gotten the government plaza unlocked, even though we're going to have to shortly. So this is putting us on a very short window, essentially, in order to get this discount at the moment. So we've only unlocked the campus, and we've only unlocked the holy site. So that's 2 districts. And now we have, once we get our holy site repaired here, we have 3 holy sites. So if you take the number of districts we have built, which is 3, and you divide it by 2, it gives, which is 2, sorry, is the number of districts we've unlocked. So the campus and the holy site, that's why it's 2. So there's 3 holy sites that we have completed and constructed. Then you divide it by the number of districts that we've actually unlocked in the game, like not built, but just unlocked the ability to build them if we choose to, which in our situation, like I said, campus and holy site, so that's 2. So 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, which means when we are going to be building our next district, if we have not, whatever district type it is, so say for instance, if our 4th district was going to be a holy site, we already have 3 of them, so that's more than that 1.5 number, right? However, if we're going to build campuses now, we have 0 campuses at the moment. So is 0 less than 1.5? Yes, it is. So we can automatically get a discount on 1 campus because 1 is less than 1.5. And then even after we've locked in that discount on that campus, it should work out that we can get a second discount on a second campus, because even once we've locked in the price on the first campus, the number of campuses that we have, or have like locked in that price at 1, is still less than 1.5. So right now, if we were to go, we can't actually build campuses in our locations yet. We have 6 turns there and 5 turns in the capital. So we'll talk more about this shortly here once we actually hit the population we need in order to do that. But basically speaking here, we should be able to get a discounted campus here in Sao Paulo and another one here in our capital. And then I'll show you just how much of a difference that makes once Porto Alegre here gets up, and I can show you how much it would be compared if we were to build it again. In the meantime, anyways, continuing on. Sorry, I know that might not be easy to understand. Feel free to ask specific questions in the comments down below. But like I said, I hope it's more apparent once we get through this, but it is a really complicated subject to talk about discounting districts. So hopefully that helps you understand, and maybe if you're not quite understanding what I'm saying yet, it'll become more clear as we go along here. Meanwhile, now that we have discovered writing, our technologies aren't really that important, to be honest. Basically, in a religious game, what we're only worried about is the civics tree for the most part. The one thing that we're going to be wanting to go to in the technology tree fairly quickly is to get up to Buttress here, in case we want to build the Hagia Sophia. It's definitely nice. Missionaries and apostles can spread religion in extra time. So that's a nice one to go through for, but it's, even if you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. Like, it just really isn't a make or break thing for a religion game. But in the meantime, we want to go towards irrigation here. That's not going to unlock a district for us, but it will allow us to get that sugar online that we talked about. And then after that, again, we're paying attention to not unlock any technologies that will give us access to, that will not give us access to any districts. And not to mention, so we're going to take mining. Now, the reason being that same thing I just said, we don't want to unlock the ability to make any more districts at the moment, but we also want to be able to stop or start chopping locations when we need to. So that allows us to chop forests, and then gets us one step closer to bronze working, which will allow us to start getting rid of some of the rainforest that we talked about already. Okay, I'll try to shut up here. Alright, so unfortunately, it looks like more barbarians have spawned here, which is not very nice for us. So let's take a quick second here. We're going to head up this way with the warrior, and we'll head there with the slinger. Alright, so in the meantime, like we said, with this scout, I think, speaking of scouts, I think I might have told this scout to just stay still. I think I did. Unless he was on automated exploration, I'm not sure. I just wanted to be sure, because, like I said, it's been a bit since I played the first installment of this game here, so... yeah, anyways, so going forward, this scout here, like I said, we want to cross over. I'm going to cross over here and see just how far the river goes. Now, in the meantime, let's take a look. Let's talk to Australia. They're still pissed. I don't think we can get open borders with them because they've denounced us, so there's not much we can do there. And maybe I did have this guy on automated exploration after all. Okay, so we found another city-state here. We also have gotten city early empire as well. Let's take a look at our policies. Considering we're dealing with those barbarians, I think what we will do is go ahead and slot discipline in, at least temporarily. But other than that, we're not going to worry about settlers at this very moment, so we'll leave that there. And speaking of which, I just saw the land, the card that gives you discounts for land, and I completely forgot about buying this tile, so let's go ahead and do that now. So, lost us $5 there, unfortunately. Let's wake this guy, and we'll build a farm there, which unlocks irrigation. I can't believe I even put irrigation on last turn without thinking about it. So you can't play perfect all the time, so don't sweat it. Everybody makes mistakes. Alright, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and get this on as well, and we'll go ahead and trade away. Oh, sorry. First of all, before I forget it, we're going to manage the citizens here, and I'm going to make sure that they are working that because we want them to grow as quickly as we can. And the same thing with Sao Paulo. I want them to grow, and okay, so there you go. Once they hit 4 population, though, I'm going to worry about production more, and we'll take that off in both cities because they'll be close to their housing caps, so the benefits of working all that food will be greatly diminished because we'll be getting close to the housing cap at the time. Okay, so now that we have that taken care of, we have improved 2 of 3 tiles here, so let's take a quick look. We do want to get towards theology as quickly as we can. However, we need to get political philosophy as well. So realistically, it doesn't really matter too much which ones we go. I just don't want to waste. I want to make sure that we can improve a tile with one of these builders here. So I think we'll get them 1, 2, 3 to head over here and purchase that when they get there. And we'll have mining by that time too, so that should work out well. And now with this guy's last build, let's get him to go over the coffee. We'll get that up online. We won't be able to really do much with it at the moment, but hopefully one of these players won't completely hate us. So speaking of trading, let's go ahead and talk to Rome here and see. Well, first off, let's see what they'll give us for open borders. 7 gold is better than nothing. So let's see now. Okay, and they're not even going to give us 100 gold, which isn't a good sign. I don't think we'll get much better from anybody else, though, to be completely honest. Yeah. Ugh. Alright, better than nothing, so we'll take what we can get at this point. Okay, now that we have completed early empire, let's put a few turns into craftsmanship. I'm going to do my best to pay attention to this so we can switch out of it and not waste any culture, since we will be getting the boost here as soon as we improve build the quarry on the stone over there. In the meantime, we have repaired our holy site again here in the capital. I I think it's definitely worth it to grab the monument for one turn in order to get another culture here, and then we'll start building a shrine in the capital as well. In the meantime, we'll move there with our warrior. I think what I'm going to do, we should be able to take one shot here. Fingers crossed anyways. We should be able to take a shot from the warrior, and I think that would give us the promotion anyways, but then we should be able to just tactically retreat, since this warrior obviously won't be able to attack us either. So let's just go ahead and take a shot at that one there. Meanwhile, we have we did get early empire, so we got our first governor thing. Now again, newer players might think, okay, you know, we're going for a religion game, we need to get Moksha. We definitely do, don't get me wrong. He's very important to winning the game. Especially, we want to get him to patron saint as quickly as we can. So that's 3 different promotions that we're going to have to get him for, including recruiting him to begin with. However, we don't really need him. Like, he's not that important. Oh, fuck's sakes. Okay, screw this. I misclicked. I'm just gonna reload the turn. Fuck me. Okay, so sorry. I normally don't save scum, but I didn't even mean to fucking click that. That's in my opinion, that's not save scumming, because I would have never even had that open to begin with if I wasn't trying to explain a point. So I've redone, I reloaded the turn, I started everything, I did everything the way that we've done, so this is essentially like exactly where we were before I fucking clicked the wrong button. Anyway, like I was trying to say there, we don't need the ability. The patron saint ability is nice, but we don't need it immediately because we're not going to be in a position to be buying apostles and stuff like that anytime really soon until we increase our faith income by a hell of a lot. So while he is a priority, he's not a priority at this exact moment. Now, a lot of times I'll go ahead and take Magnus because the Groundbreaker ability here is definitely a nice boost to have, and we will actually be taking him next. However, I am going to be picking up Liang first here in order to get the Guildmaster ability she gives, which allows all builders trained in the city will get a +1 build charge. So considering in this game we haven't been in a position where we have any desert tiles where we can make the pyramid to get an extra builder charge for all of our people, that is essentially giving us 20% more build charges just by having her. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And as we already talked about, we're putting her in Sao Paulo here in order to help correct their loyalty problem. So as you can see, once she goes there, like we already talked about, they're going to bring, she's going to help bring them back up to 4 loyalty there in just 9 turns. And that's not even counting once they get to 4 population, it'll be even easier to keep them happy. In the meantime, oh yeah, I forgot to put it onto mining this past time. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do this before too. So again, we're going to do it exactly like we did last time. We'll move the warrior there, and we'll take a shot at that warrior with our slinger. So let's keep moving up in that general vicinity, because like we said, it's not an exact science, but it kind of paints a picture of where you should be looking with your scout. And here's the detail. Oh, fuck's sakes, I forgot I had animate leaders on, because this is, for those of you who don't know, I turn animate leaders on when I want to make, take good screenshots to get pictures of the leaders to make my thumbnails. And so I had turned it on in order to take some pictures of Pedro, actually. And I just forgot to switch it off. I normally play with it off because it gets irritating to me, at least, the little delay. Anywho, yeah, sure. Well, it's love to see your hospitality. That's fine. So we've met her. That is great. Let's go ahead and send a delegation. Oh, we don't have the cash too, so we're kind of shit out of luck there. However, oh, and see, you know what? I think I did forget to trade the sugar away too when I reloaded here. Let's see. I did. Okay, so I'm not gonna cheat. Like I said, I try not to save scum, and I didn't consider that. So we'll do this for 7 gold like we did last time, except, and we're still going to do this as well. I think it was 78 off the top of my head. Yeah. And we'll trade with him. Even though we probably could get more than 78 from trading it to a mandatory there. But, like I said, we didn't do that the first time around. So there you go. Anywho, continuing along here, let's go ahead and go into the next turn. Alright, so we did survive the shot from them. That's great. Taking that hit there allowed us to buy time for our warrior to get out there, because I was afraid if we didn't take the shot from them, that essentially, if we moved our slinger away, they'd be able to attack. And so this way, we also have our promotion. So once we get back up here, we can give the slinger the garrison promotion, which will allow us to really hit home against them once we get the slinger safe in Rio de Janeiro. Anywho, continuing along here with this particular builder. We'll get him to head over. Oh yeah, I think I'm supposed to already do this, but we'll get him to move over to the coffee resource. Now that we have met them, that's pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, all I'm really worried about over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the scout on automated exploration and just let him do his thing. And yeah, we'll just continue along here. Okay, so again, we just keep running our guys away. Meanwhile, we finally finished our shrine here. We still are 5 turns away from 4 population there. So in the meantime, what we'll go ahead and do is start on a monument. In religious games, it's really important to get your culture going as quickly as we can, and that the reason being is that the civics tree is the more important tree when you're playing a religious game, because it's really, really important that you get to theology as quickly as you possibly can in order to unlock the scripture policy, for one, but also more importantly, you want to get towards the sorry, I was clicking on the wrong one. You want to get towards the Mahabodhi Temple and unlock it as soon as you possibly can, because it is a huge boost in the game. The faith isn't the big deal. Like +4 faith is pretty much nothing. However, it grants you 2 free apostles when you build it, which is huge because apostles are like 450 faith each. And as you can see, we don't have a lot of faith going on at the moment. Now, next turn, we'll be using our faith to buy our first settler, and it costs 195 faith to buy your first settler after you've bought in 3, I'm pretty sure anyways. Yeah, 195. So that's why I haven't like bought a builder or anything, even though we have monumentality. Not to mention, at the moment, there's not really anything for them to do. Like this builder is going to use his charge here for the coffee, and this one for there. And then other than that, we don't really need to chop for anything at the moment. But there's nothing that's on our agenda as far as that goes. Now, speaking of that Mahabodhi Temple, though, one thing you want to pay attention to, ideally in your first 3 cities, if you can, you want to place one of your holy sites next to a forest. However, if that's not possible, like in here, we lucked out because we can place it right here. Yeah, there it is. So we can place ours right there. However, it's not the end of the world if it's not in your first 3 cities, if you didn't think of it or just can't find a suitable location. Ideally, you want to get it by your 5th city. At the very least, you want to have a location for a holy site that is next to a forest so that you can end up chopping out everything you need. However, ideally, like I said, it's better if you can get it in your first 3 cities, because one of the requirements for the Mahabodhi Temple is that you actually have a temple as well in that city. So it obviously makes a lot more sense if you can already have your shrine built and your temple built, or sorry, you already have the shrine built, so that once you hit theology, all you have to do is quickly chop out a temple, and then you can chop out the wonder right after that, rather than if you're stuck and you still haven't got your shrine or haven't got this or that. It just makes it a lot easier. So anywho, that's where we're going to put ours, because you need to do it on a forest next to a holy site. And there we go. So we're going to just continue moving along here. Alright, so we have... Oh, I'm surprised the barbarians didn't follow us. But we have reached the stone there, so we're going to go ahead and grab that as well. And we still have to wait a couple turns, though. So we'll just tell the builder to go to sleep in the meantime. Okay, so next turn we're going to get that coffee up online, and we'll try trading it to Amanatori. Also next turn we'll try sending her a delegation too. However, it might not work. So it looks like the barbarians did come here, and they can double attack us. So oh, never mind. Yeah, we can get away because of the road from the trader. Okay, so we're going to scoot our warrior back over there and then retreat into the city. And we're also going to take the garrison promotion here, plus 10 combat strength when occupying an improvement that provides defense strength or a district. So the city counts as a district, so that is a nice promotion to have. It's going to let our slinger hit the warriors there for a lot of damage, and meanwhile our warrior is pretty much safe and sound where he is now. Alright, so it looks like the time... Nice. Okay, so the time on... Sorry, the time on the denunciation has expired, so now John Curtin hasn't denounced us yet. And not only has Germany not denounced us, but they're actually friendly with us now. So what we're going to do is go ahead and declare that friendship for sure. So that is locked in that they are our friends, and that means they can't attack us for 30 turns, which is great. In the meantime, also, what we want to do is go ahead and get open borders as quickly as we can. And that's also going to help increase our relationships with both Germany and... oh, I think I forgot to do it to Amanatori as well. So, with Germany and Australia here. So, let's talk to Germany quickly. Make deal. Open borders. And... Oops, I did the wrong one. That's per turn. Sorry. And I've had a couple people asking, by the way, the thing that changes my trade screen and also makes it nice and easy, for instance, like see where it actually says their city-states here. This is a mod that I'm using. It's called Concise Ui. I personally love it. Once I've tried it, I've never wanted to go back, and I probably never will want to play the game without the mod again. And the only other mod I use, I generally don't use game-changing ones at all. I just use mods that change the UI. The only other one I use is the WSAD movement key mod. And that's because I just find it a lot easier to move because I'm used to playing other video games with those keys, and then also it allows you to hit like 1, 2, 3, and 4 a lot easier here to switch your lenses. So yeah. Anyways, I'll shut up. Continuing along here, the warriors are in prime position. We're going to go ahead and hit this one here with our slinger because he can attack our warrior across the way, and hopefully that way we'll be able to survive his attack because he'll have the penalty of crossing the river, not to mention we're fortified on a hill with jungle there. We have completed mining, and not only have we completed mining, however, we've also reached the 4 population mark at Rio de Janeiro, so we're going to go ahead and put down our campus. So as you can see here, a cost is at 52 production, And meanwhile, the base cost is 54 production, so it's already cheaper than it's supposed to be. I know that 2 production doesn't seem like a lot, but you'll see here what I mean, that campus right now is actually considerably higher than 54 production to build. However, it's actually 2 under that, and just bear with me, you'll see next turn, because our other city here is also going to reach population 4 next turn, so we'll be able to lay their campus down, and then I'll be able to demonstrate exactly what I mean when in 3 turns when Porto Alegre hits the 4 population. However, anyway, we are going to go ahead here and lock in the campus, so we have a beauty there. We'll go ahead and do that. Now, unfortunately, I've been a little bit sloppy here. I forgot to switch out a craftsmanship, so that was a gaffe. We definitely missed 2 points of, or 2 turns worth of culture there. That could have been towards something productive. And I also forgot, what did I also forget? I had it in my head just a second ago. Oh, there we go. I know that didn't seem like a long time because I edited it out, but I seriously just sat there for like a minute fucking trying to think about what I forgot to do. Alright, the other thing I forgot to do was to purchase our settler. As you can see here, I definitely missed a turn on that as well, so that's another little mistake that I made. So what we'll do is we're actually going to buy the settler in Rio de Janeiro, because we've already locked in our campus, so it doesn't matter if we drop underneath 3 population. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Meanwhile, we've already declared friends with Germany, so now I definitely do want to get another city in here. We have a nice location, so I think what we'll do is we'll send, since it is such a nicer location here and we have a lot of good tiles to use, we're going to go ahead and send them up towards here to settle our next city, and then we'll send our next settler down to the south here to settle near Germany, since they are a friend. That'll also give us an opportunity probably at that time to earn 30 free diplomatic favor from to earn 30 free diplomatic favor, because Germany will probably ask us not to settle near them, and that'll be fine, because once we get a city in here, we won't be getting another one anywhere near the German Empire. So, continuing along here, we've got mining now, so let's go ahead and take a look at the technology tree. We're going to start on sailing, because as I said, we want to get towards Buttress as quickly as we can. Not to mention, we don't want to unlock any more districts at the moment. So that's why we're going to... Actually, we already got... Come to think of it, we already got the boost for bronze working, so we're going to go ahead and start researching towards it. However, we won't unlock it until we absolutely need it, as long as I can remember and not forget. So I'm probably going to screw this up, truth be told. Anywho, so we're going to go ahead here and continue along. Alright, so this builder here, he finally got there. Let's go ahead and get that coffee up online, which gives us the craftsmanship, which is nice. Let's take a look here, and we are actually going to change policies. Hold on. Okay, so... Well, I screwed that up a little bit. What I should have done, and again, I try not to save scum, so as much as I want to go back and do it differently, if I would have thought about that a little bit differently, what I should have done is actually waited to build that until next turn, because we've already attacked with our units, and then I could have left the discipline card in until next turn, and then switched out of the discipline card and into the card that allows us to the card that allows us to produce a Gouge. Sorry, there it is. Yeah, to switch, I should have done that so I could switch into a Gouge next turn, after being able to keep discipline on for this turn while they over this turn, I should say, while they attack us, and then I could have taken a shot with the slinger with that discipline card still in, and then switched out next turn, because now I'm going to leave it in because we want it on for these barbarians, Actually, you know what? Fuck it. That's what I should have done, but I'm going to switch out of it anyways. And that's because if you take a look here, we got craftsmanship, but we're going straight for drama and poetry. Oh, wait. What am I talking about? Never mind. It's not going to be that bad. 5 turns until state workforce, because we do want to get more... we want to get towards political philosophy as well. So, yeah. So, never mind. Sorry. Brain fart. But, it's only going to be 5 turns until state workforce, so it's not that big of a deal. I was thinking that we'd be going for drama and poetry, so we would have had that policy card locked in for 12 turns. It's not such a big deal to only have it for 4 turns. That's fine. So we will go ahead and leave the discipline policy card in. However, yeah, we're not building any settlers, so there's no point in putting that the colonization slot in. So they're sending us an envoy. Sure, we'll take 25 gold. Alright, so Harold doesn't like us, but he's not very close, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, I should have done this last turn when we got the coffee on too. Let's make a deal and see. Let's get open borders from her first off. Alright, so she's being a you-know-what, and so what we're going to do is... oops, wrong way. We're going to buy her open borders for her for 14 gold. That's fine. And we're also going to make a deal here for our coffee. Alright, so there we go. We're going to make a deal for her coffee and pay her for the open borders. And then that is going to help improve our relationship points with her a little bit, which will then allow her to pay us more. It's going to allow her to pay us for our open borders, which should offset the price of 14 gold. And at least if it doesn't offset the price completely, it should offset the price completely, but it should also allow us to actually get some more gold. But if it doesn't, it's sure better than paying the amount of gold that she wanted. She wanted like 2 gold per turn and then some bulk gold or something.
If you're enjoying the video so far, do me a favor and take a second to hit the like button. It goes a long way to help a small channel like me get discovered. Better yet, leave a comment on here. Call me an asshole if you want to. Any engagement helps. Anyway, let's get back to what we're here for.
Okay, and so what we're going to do here is actually pull the slinger back, and we're going to move the warrior in here and let him fortify in excuse me, fortify in the city in order to heal up a little bit quicker. But it's also going to prevent, because I'm not 100% sure, we don't want to kill the warrior with the slinger because we don't want to get the boost to archery yet. We still want to be able to build slingers and then upgrade them to archers for money afterwards in order to save on production at this point. However, I'm not 100% sure if the slinger is left in the city and the barb attacks the city. I'm not sure if the slinger gets the credit for the kill or the city does. Like, I know that if, say, the slinger was outside of the city and the barb suicided onto the slinger, that yes, that does count as the slinger getting the kill. However, I'm not sure if the city takes credit or not, so I don't want to chance it, and that's why we're moving the slinger out. Otherwise, I would have just left the slinger there to heal up and then let the barbarian kill himself and then switch them later, if that makes any sense. I know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Anywho, continuing along here. Now, we have gotten up to 4 population over here in San Paulo. So let's go ahead and we're going to start on... Oh, I don't know why it's not showing that we can just buy this tile. Don't ask me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and buy this tile here where we're going to put the campus down. And now... So, as you can see here, now it's going to cost 55 production for this campus, and the base cost is 54 production. So, we're going to go ahead and drop that now, 55 production. So, we'll go ahead and put it there. Is the +5 worth it in getting rid of... and losing a chop for 2 extra science. No, I'd rather save that chop for something else afterwards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our campus there. Because the reason being is that science isn't that important, as I already explained. So that extra 2 science, while it does add up in a religious game, it's not that big of a deal. And I'd rather save chopping that forest for something that we actually want at some point in case we need it. Anyways, in the meantime here, next turn, when Porto Alegre hits 4 population, I'll be able to show you what I meant about the district discounts. Oh, well, apparently not. Next turn I will be able to. Okay, so anyways, they went ahead and suicide in there. I'm going to allow the warrior to stay in there and heal up for now. The slinger's going to stay exactly where they are and heal up. We're going to keep moving along here with our settler to get over towards there. Meanwhile, yeah, we'll just continue along. So now, Porto Alegre is at 4 population now. So if we were to show you our campus, this is exactly what I meant. Okay, so look at this. Cost 92 production. That is because now... So again, I know this is complicated, but I'm going to try and explain it. So we have only unlocked 2 districts. So we've unlocked a holy site and we've unlocked the campus, okay? So now we have 3 holy sites, and we've also locked down 2 more campuses, like for that discounted price of 40% discount that I was talking about. So we got 2 cheap, as you saw. The first one, it was like 52 production to build the campus, and then the second one was 55 production. As you can see here, it's 92. It should have been 92 production to build those campuses. That's the discount that I was talking about. Now, however, things have changed since we've gotten 2 campuses, even though we haven't completely built them yet. Because remember what I said, that since we have 2 districts unlocked, the campus and holy site, and we have 3 holy sites, you take 3 and divide it by 2, which is 1.5. And that allows us to get 2 discounted campuses, because 1 is less than 1.5. So that allows you to build 2, right? Because first 0, then 1 is less than 1.5. But now we have 2 campuses laid down, so this technically would be campus number 2, or sorry, technically there's already 2 campuses laid down, so the discount is gone, because this is the 3rd one, so it's not discounted. Like I said, I'm sorry. I know that's not the best explanation. I hope you understand it, because it is a very powerful... As you can see, it like that's 40% cheaper is huge, especially this early in the game when production is at a premium, like because you haven't built your populations up and increased your production so much that like is just an amazing amount of production to be able to save. So anywho, I'm actually going to leave it right here and put a cut in the video. Sorry. But anyways, so I just want to take a minute to thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please leave a like on the video. I'd appreciate it. Helps a small channel like me gets discovered, and I obviously need all the help I can get. But anywho, I'm going to shut up now, and I'll just see you in the next video.